Yes.
All right, so I've just hit record. So don't give away your passwords or your deepest, darkest secrets. So first of all, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm so glad to be back. I'm glad you guys are all here. Does anybody have any burning desire, questions or anything they want to discuss before I dive into the PowerPoint?
No.
Righty then. Welcome in. Welcome. Welcome, Pat. Nice to see you here. So, welcome in. I guess people are still joining. Sorry about the delay here, guys. Excuse me. All right, so let me get a drink of water here. All right, so Happy New Year. It's a new year, and I love this time of year because it does have an energy about it. It's a new year, it's a new month. It's time. We have all these sparkles in our eyes about how this year is going to go and how this year is going to be better than last year or years before. But if we don't do something different, we're not going to get something different. So that's why I put or not, because we get these stars in our eyes, but then if we go back into our old ways, we're going to get our same old results. So this goes for anybody, whether you're here for weight loss or gut health or liver health or hormones or all of the above. If we do have to do something different, and I know what we are asking you guys to do is quite a bit different. Some people view it as even restrictive, but I just want you to start to think about it in a different way and think about it as getting healthy. So we're going to go over all of that today. So our agenda today, we've got some opening funnies and some shout outs, talk about making some shifts, how we think about things. We'll talk about SMART goals, what that even means and how to set them. Creating new habits for a new you, and don't do it alone, which you guys are not. You guys are all here. The fact that you're listening to this as a replay or you're here live, you're doing the deal. So give yourself a good pat on the back. You're starting off the new year absolutely great. So here are some funnies I found. You know how we are in January, we're all puffed up and we're going to do the thing. And then several months later, it's like, go back to my old ways. I just thought that was kind of funny and very, very much, I'm guilty of that on many levels. All right, so some shout outs. We've got Kathy down 10 pounds in her first week. And today's all shout outs are all weight loss, but trust me, you guys, there are so many other benefits, health benefits, medication benefits, coming off those medication benefits. Things have improved benefits, sleep has improved benefits, constipation and other digestive benefits. There's lots and lots of those, but the ones I have for you today. Kathy, good for you. You're down 10 pounds in your first week. Nicole is down 22 pounds in her first month. Christine, I just wrote this one down. She said she needs new jeans now. She has to buy new clothes. This is what I call a quality problem. And Danielle is down 25 pounds, and her husband, who did it with her, is down 49 pounds. And just so y'all know, and there are some guys on this call, the men will lose more. So don't compare yourself with your husband or your brother or your colleague or whoever you're doing this program with. If it's a guy and you're a girl, just watch your own progress and don't compare yourself to him, because he will always win when it comes to the weight loss. So just putting that out there. I want to welcome in Kristen, Kim, Heather, Crystal. I have a daughter named Crystal, spelling the same. Devon, Kelly, Claudia, Isabel, Amber, Molly, Algeciras, Jeannie, Hillary, Mersada, Stacy, and Elisa. So welcome in. Thank you for that. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. I thought I'd put this in because, you know, it is a new year. And like I said, we get stars in our eyes and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And I'm going to have this experience and I'm going to achieve this goal and I'm going to get the house or the car or the vacation or the relationship. We get a lot of great stars in our eyes, but we got to do something about it. We got to take some action. So that's what we're going to be going over today. And to be perfectly honest, this PowerPoint, when I put them together, sometimes they'll have pictures and sayings like this already pre-done in there. And this was already in there. And I thought, I'm not taking, and usually I take them out and make it apply to what we're talking about. But this seemed quite appropriate, so I just left it right there. All right, so we're gonna get started here. First thing, oops, more people. All right, so first thing, and this is what I see a lot. I've got so many new people. My onboarding classes have been getting bigger and bigger. Now holidays are over, people are ready to get started. And I'm excited for all of you, especially those of you getting started. But I've got a lot of people that go, oh, I'm not ready. I haven't read the entire book, or I don't have my supplements yet. That's all good. But when you get your supplements, just start. Just start. I mean, I'm here to answer your questions. If you're on the do it yourself, ask on Facebook. If I'm coaching you, you can text me directly and get a quick answer, or email me and I'll answer you as quickly as I can. But I want you to just realize this is just food, and if anything, we've eliminated some things. So as long as you're clear of what we've eliminated, I don't want you to overthink it and get too worried about like, oh, I don't have this whole thing memorized. Don't worry. And when you send me your journal pages and there's something on there that you've had that's on the avoid list, I'll tell you, and then you can avoid it moving forward. I don't want you to feel like you have to be perfect to start. It just reminds me of, having a baby. Who said they were 100% ready to have a baby and raise a baby and know exactly what to do when they had their first baby? Like the baby comes and you learn as you go, right? So this is the same thing, only a lot easier, a lot easier. Oh, so what is greatness? I actually, I don't know why it went out of order like that. I wondered why that was so low. I actually looked it up. And so again, this is the new year. We're looking to we're going to be better than last year. It's going to be this, we're going to improve. What is greatness? It's just being better than you were. And that's all we can try to be, is comparing yourself to yesterday or last week or last year. But don't compare yourself with others. Everybody's on their own journey. Everybody's got their own story, whether it's something they tell themselves or it is an actual limitation. Welcome in. All right, so set goals and start small. So, and I'm going to talk about goal setting in just a few minutes. I'll dedicate a whole slide to that. But if you have 50 pounds or 100 pounds to lose, I don't want you to look at that goal. It's great you set it, but then the next thing that you do, and we'll talk about that, is chunking it down and making it smaller, easier goals. Easier, smaller goals. So once you decide, okay, it's 40 pounds, it's 60 pounds, it's 100 pounds, or whatever your goal is, now you've set it, you will know what it is. Now what you do moving forward is, what do I do in my next meal? All you got to know is what's your next meal. You don't have to do for the whole week. You might plan that, and we'll talk about that today too, but you just got to know what the next meal is. What is your next workout? What's the next action that you're going to take today? Maybe it's in the next hour, maybe it's in the next 5 hours, but the little tiny things, and then they start to stack, and then they start to see results, which builds momentum, which makes it easier to keep going. But don't keep your eye too much on that big giant goal. Set little goals. What can I do today to reach my goals? Starting with the basic three, there's three ways, three important sections that you to become healthier. And that's your mind and your body and your spirit. There's a lot of things, and that's what I talked about. I think I did that in November or December. The three-part series that I did, and that was basically what we talked about. The fitness series was mental, physical fitness, which I talked a lot about exercise and nutrition, mental fitness, which is mindset and how we think about things and our perspectives and how we look at things and how we can train the subconscious mind. And then there's spiritual fitness. What can we do to treat ourselves, to bring more peace, to bring more joy, to bring a sense of hope and happiness and all of those things? If we can get all those three in alignment, we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good. So those are, when I say basic three, it's mind, body, and spirit. And there's things that we can do in all three arenas to have and see and achieve improvement. Today, we're also going to talk about creating new habits, releasing old ones. I believe Atomic Habits is on the docket for this month. I think this month. So that'll be a real good one for you guys, how to create new habits and how to let go of the old ones. So basically what we're talking about today are some things that I'll dive deeper in as we go through the year. And then having the right map. What is your map? It's your massive action plan, as Tony Robbins would say. And I'm a fan of his. I'm a big fan of his. But that's the one thing I don't like about what some of the stuff that he shares. Massive action plan is great, but back to the little ones, dial it down to something that's doable in your mind, achievable in my mind. If I think, oh, I have to lose 50 pounds, that feels hard and scary and unrealistic in my brain. But if all I have to do is eat a healthy lunch, I can do a healthy lunch. That much I can do. Who knows what dinner will turn into? Who knows what the weekend will turn into? But I can do that one next right thing. So having the right map would just be something like this program and utilizing me, and reach out to me and ask me as many questions as you can, because I'm here to guide you and hold your hand along the way. Nobody gets through this like just a straight line down. You know, we're going to go up and down like this guy in this top picture here. The mind is going all crazy. This is the road to success. That's what success looks like. If you take any successful musician or athlete or actor or something like that, all we know is that they sold 1 million albums, but we didn't see them, playing in a dark, smoky bar with three people as their audience. We didn't see all that craziness that they went through. So we want to have a right map and utilize me if you're ever struggling with anything. So I'm open to that. All right. So let me see here. Oops. Everything that happens in the universe starts with intention. Now, there's a whole video in the course, module 2. I don't know which training it is, but it's in module 2. So be sure to go through that mindset piece, the mental fitness part. But shifting your perspective and harnessing the power of intention. So some people look at the program and they look at this and they're like, oh man, I can't eat this. I can't have cheese. I can't have bread. I can't. And it's a negative feel to it. So what I want to recommend to you all is look at this program and embrace it, or lean into, I'm getting healthy. If you change your perspective on how you see the program, especially I was training people through the holidays, and that's a challenging time because there's far more obstacles that show up, the parties, the office snacks, all the things at work and all of those kinds of things. we're subjected to a lot of obstacles. So it feels, it's like now it's time to get going. But if you're feeling like this is restrictive, I'd like you to shift and just think, well, I'm getting healthy, because guess what? Those holidays will come every year. So if you were going through this during the holidays, first of all, kudos to you, and I'm proud of you. And a lot of you excelled and got results during the holidays. So kudos on that. But if it is your birthday, if it is your anniversary, if it is a big event, those things will come around another year. Now, if it's a wedding or something that hopefully never comes around again, you're going to have to do some modifications, but there's always going to be something. It's always going to be a birthday. If you look at your neighbors left and right, it's somebody's birthday this week. So just keep in mind, this is temporary. Some of the gray area foods will come back. And if you just set an intention to do the best that you can and just do the next right thing, those little incremental actions, and set the intention to do the things that we're suggesting, and you'll likely do those things. Okay, what's happening? All right, so one of the things, and this would be under the category of how we can you can kind of go spiritual or mental on this one. So one of the things I recommend is journaling. The first thing you want to do when you first wake up in the morning is what are you grateful for? And my thing is I try to write 10 things, but give yourself a number. If 10 feels too hard, start with 5 or 3, or even at least 1, because it starts your day off with you're training your brain to look for things that you are grateful for. So the more you can fill out that list, and it can be the same thing every day, or you can remember something wonderful that happened yesterday. I'm so grateful I found a $10 bill on the sidewalk, or I'm so grateful I opened my eyes this morning and I was able to get up out of bed. I'm so grateful for my home. I'm so grateful for my family, my spouse, my whatever. But starting off with gratitude, this is like a spiritual fitness thing you can do, and it really sets the tone for the rest of the day. And then another thing you can write there in the morning, what would make today great? So that way you're basically setting an intention to have something happen. It would be great if I followed the rules all day. It would be great if I found a recipe that I really loved. And then you find that if that's the thing that would make today great, you're going to probably start looking for a recipe. And if you look for it, you can tag it, and you can set an intention to make that recipe whenever you do your cooking. So what would make today great? It just like trains your brain to start to look for that thing and how to make that thing happen. And then you can set an affirmation for the day. Today, I am making healthy choices. And if you say that several times, and imagine what it feels like to achieve, like, wow, today I actually did it. I actually did it today. I succeeded the whole day, or whatever the case is. Now at night, you can take your journal and put the highlight of the day. Again, this is going to remind you what you're grateful for, and it's going to also remind you of who you are becoming. So if you made very good choices all day, and if you went to the gym, or if you were looking up some recipes, or if you were meal planning, or if you were meal prepping, or something like that, then that was a highlight of your day, it's going to remind you, because you're going to put it in writing, that you are actually becoming a healthier person. You're doing the things that healthy people do. Or whatever the highlight of the day. Maybe my daughter called and that made you happy. That was the highlight of your day. Again, it trains the brain to look for things that we're grateful for and things that we loved about the day. And this is one of my favorites, but it's just not as fun. However, this is, what could I have done better, or what did I learn? The reason I love this one is because what this piece does is it's a rehearsal to something that happened today that you didn't do so well. So you went to the holiday party and you ate the Christmas cookies, whatever the case is. And so you can kind of practice in your mind, what would I do next time? Next time I go to that party, what would I do different? Or what did I learn from that? Well, maybe you learn that don't go to the parties hungry. Maybe you learn to put gum in your mouth at the party so you're not picking up mindless food. Maybe you learn to bring your own dish to that party. Whatever the case is, this is how you practice doing the right things. Once you kind of admit to your own self what you learned or what you could have done better. So this is a really good practice, guys. I hope that you can all incorporate that as well. All right, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with Zig Ziglar, but he is hilarious. He is hilarious. You got to just go to YouTube and you can listen to him. But he says, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every single time. So he is a crack up and he's very inspiring. So go to YouTube and listen while you're brushing your teeth or getting ready in the morning or at night or whenever. You might listen to podcast or something because he's inspiring. All right, so what are SMART goals? It's specific. You shouldn't be able to misinterpret or confuse it. So if you say, I want to lose some weight, the brain doesn't really know what that is. It's not specific at all. But if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want to be in a size 8, or I want to be able to climb Pinnacle Peak, which is a nice hiking spot out here, whatever your goal is, being very, very specific. Maybe it's a size, maybe it's a weight, maybe it's an achievement, but it's something that you can see. It also has to be measurable. If we can't measure it, if we can't track it, how can we manage it? So I always go back to, because I have owned a couple of businesses. If you're not tracking and where all your money for your business is going, all your advertising, your payroll, your rent, your products, all of your stuff, your permits, all of the things that you're spending money on, how can you know if you're doing well or not? All the incomes, you want to track all those too. What's your ratio between the two? So if we're not tracking our food and we're not tracking our weight and other measurements, we're not going to be able to manage them very well. So you want to be able to track. And this will also let you know if you're on target and on time and on the right track. So if you want to, say you want to lose 10 pounds, and 1 to 2 pounds a week is a very ambitious goal. So it should take you 5 to 6, maybe 7 weeks. If and that's if you're not being super diligent. But at least if it's been 3 weeks and all you've lost is 1 pound, you're going to be, now you're tracking it, you're not doing something right. You're off track a little bit. You've lost a pound, so that's great, but you want to be able to track. The next qualification to make it a SMART goal is it attainable? So if I say, yeah, I want to lose 10 pounds, but I want to lose that 10 pounds by tomorrow, that's not realistic. If I want to lose 10 pounds in 5 to 7 weeks, just after what I just said, 1 to 2 pounds a week is a fair number, then I would know it's a realistic goal. Is it relevant? Does it relate to your values, your dreams, or your ambitions? So my example for that, well, let me just talk about weight. I had a client years ago. Well, some of you know I did the bikini competition and I was lucky enough to take a first place. But after I did that, I was a personal trainer at the time. And after I did that, I got a girl who signed up with me as a personal trainer, and she wanted to do a competition too. And I said, yeah, I can help you. I can tell you what to eat, all the things. And then when it came down to it, she had 2 little kids, and some other, and she also worked. She was in the police department of something, but she realized what it takes to get on the stage and win, or at least do well. it didn't go along with what her values were, which her family was more important. So sometimes you got to change your goals. So maybe getting on a stage for a competition might not be it. But yeah, if I can just lose these 20 pounds and get a little more fit, that's a better goal for her. And then she just wants to lose the 20 pounds and be at a certain weight or whatever the case may be. Time bound, give it a deadline. So again, if we're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week and you want to lose 10 pounds, that's 5 weeks. That's 5, 6 weeks, right? So if you're not on track, if you're 4 weeks in and only lost that pound, you know you're off track. But the time is what tells you whether you're on or off track. So it's important that you give all those things. The brain loves details. Brain loves clarity. So the more we can give these goals, the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time limits, the clearer it is for us to move forward. All right, so this is an important piece as well. By the way, the goal setting, I'll talk a lot more about that when I talk about the atomic habits. But the not next week, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to go deep dive into meal prepping and how to make it super quick and easy and save money and save time. I get so many clients coming through this program. I don't have time for meal prep. You don't have time to not meal prep. That's how I see it. But again, it's a perspective. But I hope and pray that when I present that piece of it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. I don't know who said that. I've heard it a million times. I'm sure it's a famous quote by somebody. But anyway, it's really important that you do know where your next meal is coming from. If, I don't know where you are in the country, but if dinner is your next meal, I hope that you all know where it is, or if it's already made, that's great, or it's partially made. All the veggies are chopped, pre-chopped in advance. Whatever the case may be, if you know where your next meal is, you're on track. If you get to be 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, what's for dinner? If you don't know where your next meal is coming from, that should be a trigger that you're not on track. I want you to at least know where your next meal is. So even if you're going out to lunch with some friends or family, you can pre-look at their menu online and you can plan what you're going to order. That way it takes the stress out. But that's a real important piece, and we'll dive deep into that. 2 weeks. Getting moving, this is an important piece. I've talked about this a lot. I'm really a fan of strength training. And I know in the book, and Dr. Invertino is a big fan of high intensity interval training, and so am I. I think it's great, but I just don't think it's a start. It's not where I would put a beginner. As a beginner, I just want you to start doing some of the strength training that I have in module 5. Elizabeth, you have a question?
Yes, on this topic specifically, the strength training, and I did some yesterday, the trainers were like, okay, twice a week max, you need rest days. But then I got confused because they also said, this goes really well with HIIT, and this goes really well with cardio. So on the rest days, am I supposed to be doing those other categories or nothing? That's because I'm prone to nothing.
That's a loaded question. I could talk to you for an hour about that. So high intensity interval training is either strength training or cardiovascular training in a timed fashion. So it could be, I have a Tabata app, so I have an app that times it. So if I'm doing squats for 20 seconds, and then I stop and rest for 20 seconds, and then I squat for 20 seconds, which is strength training, that will get my heart rate up, first of all. And second of all, but it is strength training.
So am I supposed to do yoga in between just so I don't break those muscle fibers any further? I guess that's where I'm at. Like, what am I supposed to be doing?
So if you're doing strength training,
like
whole body today, then do cardio or something different tomorrow. The rule is 48 hours with that muscle group. This is why in module 5,
Oh,
I broke it into muscle groups. So if you
oh,
work chest today, you can work your legs tomorrow, you can work your back the next day, and you can work the core the next day. And then you can, and you can always throw cardio in the middle of that, but you wouldn't work your chest today and your chest tomorrow and your chest the next day because it doesn't have time to repair and build and grow. It
yeah.
will,
So
but not nearly as efficiently.
in particular, this program with Les Mills has a section for all the body. So I did
Yeah.
all of it, right? They
So
just
if
did the
it's
top,
strength
then they did the
training for
bottom.
the whole body, then just do cardio tomorrow.
Okay. And then I'll go back and do, they said twice a week. So 3 days, 2 days, 3 days in between. Okay. So that's what I thought. I thought, well, don't do nothing because that gets you out of the routine. So,
Yeah, and if his classes are very different from one another,
yeah.
it's likely that you're using, even though it's chest, but it's different. You have your pectoralis major, your minor,
Oh, yeah, I was laying on the garage floor like someone's gonna have to find me here. Like there was no like resuscitating me.
yeah. So
They had that over your head and then they changed the weights. One set was 5 pounds, then add another 5, then add another 5. I mean, it was like they were literally said, I want you to feel the heat and live in the heat. And I was like, I don't want any heat. I was like, just get away
so
from
let
me.
me just, so as far as what it says here in the middle, you want to set your day and your time and your specific. So if Monday is chest day and Wednesday is back day and Thursday is leg day or whatever, set the day and the time. Remember, the brain loves clarity and it loves specificity. Can I say that word? Specificity. But the more specific you get with your plan, plan out your week if you can. As I say, put the big rocks in. If you plan to exercise these 4 days of the week and you plan to meal prep on Sundays and you plan to do, and you have all these details on your planner, it's more likely you're going to do it. But just to go
Tammy,
to, yes.
I have a question. Is there any specific time of day that it's better to do your exercises?
I love that question. And the answer is yes.
Oh, good, good.
The answer
What is
is
it?
when you will do it.
Oh.
So, and let me back up. The real answer is studies show that people that exercise in the morning do make better choices throughout the day. But if you have a job that starts at 5 a.m., or Michael's more like 4 a.m. or something, for you to try to exercise before work doesn't make sense. You don't want to cut out your sleep. Your sleep is as important as your exercise. So then you would have to be that person who exercises after work. It's still effective, it's still good. But if you're a night owl, and if I say get up and go to the gym at 5 in the morning, it's the first of the year, I'm going to do the thing, I'm going to get healthy. And 2 weeks later, you're going to be, oh, screw this, it's cold outside and I want to stay in my comfy little bed. And then you don't do anything at all. And now you're at a 0. Go ahead and do it later in the day. So you got to find out when you will do it, when you will actually do it, and then set it, put it in your calendar, put it in your planner so that you will do it, and be specific. What are you going to do when you get there? And it could be getting into your living room. Turn on YouTube. It doesn't have to be, fancy smancy. Just pay attention to the trainers when they're talking about form. Since they're not there to correct you, just pay attention to that because it matters. You can hurt your knees real easy. And
So if I
shoulders.
can add something, I found out that it was really effective to do it after you get pissed. Like if somebody upsets you, like if you if you have to go out and like do stuff, do it after you get back because you're all like, you know.
So do the exercise when you get pissed.
Yeah. Like, go in the gym part of your house, wherever that is for you.
Uh, I think
Right.
for me, I'm looking back, trying to register. When I feel super happy, that's when I'm hitting it the hardest. I'm like, yeah, I got this. I'm so happy. Like I'm doing this. I used to teach kickboxing, or I might actually put my gloves on and hit the bag. But
I think when you're in this diet though, you go through these fluctuations, and then there's like parts where you're getting rid of, you're shifting through some bad emotions. So when that happens, do something about it, and then it will leave you versus stay with you.
Yeah, it might be a great release of stress and
I
tension.
mean, I see what you're saying, Tammy, but you've got to start from a place where you can achieve that, you know? And so we got to get there.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes.
as hard as you're going to go, as hard as you're going to go is what but if I'm just trying to, I was listening to you and I was just trying to relate. Like, is that the way it is with me or not? And that's the only thing I came up with was when I'm super happy and I just want to tear it up at the gym. But it is a good stress relief, especially if you are boxing. If it's a person, you can just punch them in the nose in that bag and just pretend it's their nose, of course.
Yeah.
So anyway, but be specific, but get moving. Do module 5 if you've never had been on your radar for exercise. If you don't know where to start, it's a great start. It's pretty beginner friendly, so if you've been exercising, it might be a little boring for you.
Kathleen, what were you thinking of doing for exercise?
Me?
Mhm.
I'm starting with module 5. I'm not much of a person to work out, but I did buy a cruiser type of bike.
Nice.
And so I do like the bike riding in my new community here.
Nice.
And
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that's the best exercise for me. And then I have a little dog and I take her for a walk around the block, but Tammy pointed out it's not really much of exercise because I don't get my heart rate up because she's stopping more than she's walking. So
So I bought this dog walker jogger.
uh-huh.
It
I
looks
did
like
I just bought a new one. Yeah.
that way you can put the little dogs in it, right? They do their business. You put them in
Yeah.
there and you are chugging, and you've got
Yeah.
weight.
That's a great idea. I
Weight.
forgot about
So,
those things.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
so
just
mine
bought
was
one. That's funny you say that.
yeah,
Yeah.
mine was called the Dogger. It was literally called that. And it had
Oh, cool.
shocks and everything. I mean, that thing could go off road. Yeah, it was great. So
Good.
you would use what you have, right? I used to use the dog, like itself. Like
You can. People have used babies too.
they
Like the
won't
new
leave your side
moms.
anyway. Like the minute you're on the mat, they're like up in your business, like, okay, I'm gonna lift. Because if you have the weight right in front of you and you try to do a sit-up, the weight pulls you forward. So use the dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, she's not quite 10 pounds, so she might work
Exactly.
for a little bit.
So you just do it, do 3 of them and then see how it gets. Just fun,
Yeah,
It's just like
they'll
it
do a little
stops you
bit.
from feeling like it's work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you're bonding with your dog. And
Yeah.
she will like it too.
Yeah. So true.
Awesome. So the next one is don't be afraid to ask for help. If you're coaching with me and you having a struggle, reach out. We'll figure it out together. If we can't do it, I'll reach out to Dr. Infantino. We'll find something that hopefully you can do. But coaching, mentors, trainers, support groups, which is basically what this is, accountability partners. Some in the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 people get on a group onboarding group call and say, hey, you're just starting out, I'm just starting out, let's do it together. And they'd exchanged phone numbers and now they're kind of being an accountability partner. And so I love that. I think that's really cool. And so hopefully there's helping and supporting each other. But we can all, I could learn how to play the piano, but if I get a piano teacher, I'm going to learn it a lot faster. And also there's a million YouTubes or articles or books on weight loss and healthy and what's good for you and what's not good for you. And there's a Grain Brain and there's Go Vegan and there's Go Keto and Paleo and all the things. If you get somebody who's done the deal, who you resonate with, and let them guide you because they've already made the mistakes and they can help you not make those or make fewer. And then the second you go off track, they can help you get you on track. So don't be afraid to reach out to me if you're struggling or have a question, even if it's just a food question. Hey, is it all right if I have peanut butter? Which the answer is no, not till after 12 weeks, but
Ah, I was going to ask that.
peanuts are a legume and legumes are not till after 12 weeks. That's why. All right, so here, I'm calling this the bonus round. This was a lot of fun for me to put together, and this will take some time, and so hopefully we get through it. All right, so, oh, I forgot to bring it in, darn it. I put it, hold on. I gotta go get it, I know where it is. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so this is a dry brush, and they're fairly soft. But what this does is it exfoliates the body, it exfoliates the skin, but it also has a lot of other benefits to it. Can help with lymphatic drainage, which your lymph system is your sewer system. So we want to get that sludge and that gunk out of there. Can help reduce cellulite. It can promote circulation. It can help reduce inflammation. It can help increase energy because of the circulation. It exfoliates the skin and removes dead or dull skin cells. So you're going to look a little bit more smoother and plump.
The lymph system is also connected to the pancreas and to the appendix. So those two things get flushed as well.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Yeah, it reduces cellulite, so it softens the hard fat deposits in the skin. So that's a good one. And it can also improve the nervous system stimulation. So that's a good way to get help. These are going to be healthy tips that are not something that's in the book necessarily. I mean, Dr. Infantino may have talked about dry brushing. I've heard him talk about it before. So it might be in the book. But these are just things, I want you guys to start to open your mind and to all these different things that we can do to become healthy. Because like saving a nickel, a day doesn't add up to much. But if I save a nickel here and a nickel there and a nickel here in that same day, it starts to add up to a healthier body as far as doing that thing that makes you healthier and that thing that makes you healthier. Okay, where to go? Cold plunge. I think we talked about that one yesterday. I've done that a few times, and it's scary and it's difficult, but it taught me I can do hard things. It's a good discipline teacher. Like, okay, it's really, really cold, but I'm going to get in anyway. It can help reduce inflammation and helps reduce soreness in your muscles. It can improve mood, can release endorphins. Man, you feel so strong. When I come out of that, I feel so strong. I feel so powerful. I'm trying to think of another word, but strong is the word. It can improve sleep. It can improve circulation, can improve the immune system, cognitive functions, resiliency. It can balance the nervous system. It can improve cold tolerance, and it can also improve the radiance of the skin. But primarily that inflammation in the body. My son, who was in a horrible motorcycle accident a few years ago, has terrible back problems. He bought a cold plunge for his backyard, and it's like a tub. You just put a lid on it when you're not using it, so it refrigerates it. But you can get one for your own yard if you want one. Who should not do this is pregnant people. If you have a severe cardiovascular disease or very high blood pressure or pacemaker or Raynaud's syndrome. So those are those who should not do it.
There's one on sale at Costco. There's a personal plunge pool available at Costco for under $200. Even like
under 200. Wow.
Yeah, it's an inflatable, small, but a person's body fits in it, and it's like 4 feet high, and it has a temperature control on it, so you
Oh,
can
yeah.
just so
Oh,
you're
yeah.
not at the whim of nature, you know?
Yeah, you have to work your way down. When at my
Yeah.
sister's house, she had it in the 40s, where the first time I did it, I think I was in the mid 50s degrees.
Yeah.
Let's
And I think it
go,
also
man. Let's go.
it advances your longevity because it elongates your telometers or telomeres or whatever those cells are.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ultimately, it does all those things you said, but it's a habit that has to be kind of daily, and you do have to work up to it. And they do have the temperature
I
controls on
think
them.
they recommend a few times a week. Yeah. My sister, my sister's husband, I think he pretty much does it every day.
Those Europeans just open the window during their
The thing
shower.
is, they don't recommend staying too long because you could start to get hypothermia.
I don't know anybody that wouldn't be screaming to get out. You know, you'd have to hold me down after 3 seconds. There's no way.
Yeah. So, but that's just it. You give yourself a discipline and you practice, okay, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 20 seconds. Ooh, a whole minute, you know. The foam roller, this is where we have fascia that surrounds our muscles and our other tissues. And sometimes I get stiff and tired. And it's basically the foam roller is a myofascial massage. I did demo that the other day. I think it was Monday. So if you want to go back and watch the demo on it, but it can ease pain, especially if you do your IT band, which is, well, you can't see it. It's from your hip, it's on the side of your leg, from your hip to your knee. And that's often very tender. You can pop your own back with those. You can stretch out your lats, kind of release some of that tension. But these are just little things, and a foam roller doesn't cost much. I keep mine right behind my living room, like lazy boy chair, and there it is. It's just sitting there. Listening to podcasts, learning, like I said, I was talking about Jim Rohn earlier. Fill your brain with healthy stuff. Just get off the darn news. Just get off. Just get off. If you're going to have news, read it and listen to hearings and listen to interviews. Podcasts will really, if you really need to know some of that stuff, you can learn a lot from podcasts. But turning to listen to the ones on health, on wellness, on weight loss, on, just on veganism, on carnivore diet, on whatever diets are interesting to you, and hearing these experts' opinion, and you can decide for yourself if you want them, but you're filling your head with some good stuff instead of the stress that these news stations have. Podcast, I get books on tape. I just drove to California for the new year, and I'm listening to a book on tape. But if you're a reader, then read more. Reading and podcasts will really help with your disposition, and it'll help train that subconscious mind. Learning something new, this will keep you younger. They say dancing or dance class because your mind and your body have to connect. So anything where there's patterns, or like boxing, right, left, or jab, cross, hook, uppercut. If you're learning different patterns, your body has to follow what the pattern is, and it keeps you younger, keeps that brain smarter, keeps that brain working, especially when you have to have a mind and body pattern connection, whether it's dancing or boxing or whatever it is. But learning something new, it keeps you alive. If we do nothing, we're either in decay or we're in growth. So I just assume stay in growth. So learn something. Is it going to be hard? Maybe. Maybe it's not even going to be as hard as we thought. But learning something new or doing something new, I think would be a good idea. So taking up a hobby. And so maybe you do have to learn to dance, or maybe you do have to learn to basket weave, or whatever hobby that you would like to take on. Join a hiking group, or salsa dancing group, or I don't know, a kayaking group or something. But taking up a hobby gives you more purpose and gives us a thing. And it can be physical active hobbies, which can double as, activity and getting your heart rate up or moving your body or whatever. I'm
Can we
doing.
add to that that any dance classes, they have these apps for that, and they're you can subscribe and they'll give you the type of dance you like. So like if you like ballroom, it will serve that to you at your time. And so you can kind of learn the steps along with the trainer on the TV. I do it. It's kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I need to learn the West Coast swing.
Oh, yeah. And then
I
you
got
look at
East Coast, I got the two-step, I got the cha-cha,
that's so fun. And
I
you
got
dance,
country
you can,
swing, but that one eludes me.
you can line dance, you can do a ton of stuff,
Line
but you
dance, I got-
always see these older folks and they go to these line dances and they're all there and they're working out. That counts. That
Mhm.
counts. It's social.
But
And
if it fills your soul, and for me, dancing is my hobby, but it also fills my soul, especially if it's a good waltz. Oh God, it's so beautiful. And if I get a good partner, it's just so flowing. But this is part of the three basic. So you're actually doing your physical body some good if I'm doing a waltz, but I'm also filling my soul. So I'm working my spiritual fitness all at the same time.
oh yeah. So if you just went to your Google Play or your Apple Store and you look for dance apps and pick the one that you can afford or trial, um, you could do that. And in addition, like I said, I was taking classes to learn how to write a book, and that's keeping me busy in a different way, so that I'm not solely focused on how come I didn't lose, X or whatever, so it just gives me something else to do.
Yeah, yeah. Digital detox. This one, my comment to that would be first thing in the morning when you're in your gratitude journal and you're writing your gratitudes and your intentions for the day and your affirmation for the day. Don't do all that stuff first before you pick up your iPad or your phone or your computer and start going on the social media or your email or anything like that. It doesn't serve the brain. And I honestly think because I was just scrolling, sometimes I get on Zoom to wait for my client and they're late or they're not there. So I'm just scrolling. And I feel like I've trained my brain to be attention deficit disorder. Because now my attention is like 2 seconds and I'm looking at something else. I'm like, I gotta stop doing that. So I think I actually put that up there for me. I need to do that one. Someone put something in chat. Oh, it's called DanceBit, is the app for learning new things dancing. Thank you for that. And the last one, and this is another way to become healthier, going green inside your house. And so what I mean by that is getting household cleaners that are not chemicals, or personal care products that are not all chemicals. It's not, you want to make sure they're good for you because your skin, if it's deodorant or lotion or makeup, your skin is the largest organ in the body and it's very absorbent. Anything you put on it goes into your body. So if we're doing this stuff every day, and I'm putting aluminum deodorant on my underarms, is it safe? Yeah, but if I do it every day, I've been doing it every day for 60 years or whatever, that's a lot of aluminum I'm putting in my body. So going green, maybe just using vinegar and water to clean up your kitchen counters. It doesn't have to be all this Lysol chemical. The chemicals fill the air, we're breathing it in. And again, we're breathing in these chemicals.
Also bad for dogs.
Yeah, it just increases your exposure to toxins. The reason why most of us are here is because we're trying to get rid of the toxins. And they come to us in many different ways. They come to us in our foods, they come to us in pesticides, they come to us in the air we breathe, but they also come to us in our personal care products as well. So going green will be helpful. And that way it improves the indoor air quality, basically.
I have a couple questions. Oh, I know you're done. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'll wait till you.
Yes.
I didn't know if you were finished your presentation. You can finish your presentation.
No, now is fine.
So we were doing this stuff called Skinny Girl. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's a
Yep.
salad dressing. It only has 10 calories, but I guess when I looked at it, we started watching some of the courses last night. It says maltodextrin is the second ingredient. So is that sugar?
Yeah, it's in the sugar family. It's gonna make it thicker as well.
Gonna make
So
it what?
I don't buy Skinny Girl, and I didn't remember why. I think they used to use sucralose as a sweetener, but maybe I'm thinking of Walden Farms. Because I
But
think
isn't
Skinny
Skinny Girl
Girl,
like a mixer for alcohol?
I'm sorry?
yeah, Skinny Girl has that too. They have an alcohol mix, but they also have salad dressings. They
That's a
just turned
salad
Skinny Girl
dressing.
into a.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
just
The gym we used to go to told us we should use this. That's why.
read me the ingredients list, because we'll be talking about ingredients next week.
Walnut, maltodextrin, cider vinegar. I need my glasses. Sorbitol, is that what it says?
Okay, that's a sugar alcohol.
Salt, lemon juice concentrate, modified cornstarch, dried garlic, dried red bell pepper, dried onion, xanthan gum, potassium citrate, sodium benzate, calcium, just
My biggest problem is that maltodextrin is at the top of the list. The
Right,
list is listed from the most to the least.
right,
So
right.
if it has water, if it has more water than anything else, water is going to be at the first top part of the ingredients list.
Yeah, water's first.
If water's at the very bottom of the list, it has less water than all the other ingredients, and and so on. They don't have to tell you, oh, we put 2 cups of this and 1 cup of that and a tablespoon of this. They don't have to give you their recipe, but they do got to tell you what's in it, and they put it in the order from most to least. And so it's got more of that. If it was at the bottom of the list, I'd say, you're probably okay. But it's second on the list, I think you said, right?
Yeah, yeah. We bought a couple bottles of the Primal too, and Hillary tried that today and she liked it. So
I found some information about the maltodextrin.
Oh, good.
It says it promotes endoplasmic reticulum stress driven mucus depletion and exasperates intestinal inflammation.
Ew.
Yeah, so that's number 2 on the list. So I would
Not
say,
good. Yeah.
In our house, we found it so useful to just use the lemons that are coming in because you're buying bags and bags and bags of lemons, and you've got olive oil. So that's salad dressing basically, if you have a whisk or a fork, and then you just put in Italian seasoning, dried or oregano or something, salt and pepper, and you're set. It doesn't taste
Yeah.
and
funny.
it's so much cheaper than these $8 little tiny bottles.
Yeah, and like if you're going to Costco, it keeps the oils fresh because you don't want rancid oil sitting around either, and you're
Right.
buying it 2 different ways if you're buying dressing because they're doing that and charging you $9.
Okay.
And
Right.
it's so much easier, Michael. Just throw it in the bowl you're going to put the salad in, and then put the salad in.
Right,
I
right.
know I've gotten used to buying a higher quality olive oil.
Yeah.
You're going to spend a lot of money. You're not going to get the Costco one, but maybe go to a Sprouts and get a high-end organic olive oil. And because of the flavor is so intense of the olive oil, the olives in the higher quality oils, that's all I use. And I add sea salt and pepper, and I'm happy with that. And sometimes if I'm in the mood, I'll add apple cider vinegar, where I could whisk it in and, emulsify it and make a nice creamy dressing. It's pretty good.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
The other question too was, as far as the maple syrup, is there a certain brand you guys have found that you like?
I just use the Kirkland brand. It doesn't matter. It could be A grade or B grade, as long as it's 100% pure maple syrup. So what you don't want is pancake syrup, like Aunt Jemima or one of those, because they have all kinds of other junk, like high fructose corn syrup and
I don't know if
other.
you need an organic or anything like that, or organic maple syrup or anything like that.
I mean, ideally, right?
Ideally, yeah, Costco has it.
I
Yeah.
think if you have a Costco membership, that's your best bet because you're going to go through it like crazy.
We don't have Costco because we
Okay.
don't
You got Sam's Club? You got Sam's or Walmart? Or
Yeah, we have those things there. We haven't, we live in a condo and we don't really shop in
yeah.
bulk.
So it's a refrigerated product once it's open, by the way, and you just shake it because it's
Yeah, we're from
whatever you buy, even if you get it at the store, it says it's graded. It literally
Right.
says, yeah.
and the crystal.
Oh, the other question Hillary had was, she's been using a crystal for deodorant for years, and then she just found out they have aluminum in them. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Which one? What did you say?
You know the crystals you can use for deodorant? It's like a crystal.
It's all.
Oh, yeah.
She found
It's
out
aluminum?
she was thinking it was good, and then someone just told her that it has aluminum in it. So what do you know if you guys
Oh,
know?
I used that for years. How did I
I would
not?
call the company itself and ask them, or go to customer service info at and ask them
see,
if
like that
theirs
thing?
does. Yeah. If they do, because like sometimes you hear stuff and you hear stuff about all kinds of products, and then that person will say, I'm glad you asked us that because we don't, so it's kind of
Well, I
like,
looked it up, because a friend sent me she hand makes on her ranch in Colorado, she hand makes like beef tallow lotions and soaps and all sorts of natural stuff and a natural deodorant. So I told her I've been using the crystal for years, and she said, how does it work? So I just Googled, how do the crystals work? And there's like little trace aluminum in it.
That's disappointing. I used to
I
use it all the time.
found the deodorant that I get from Sprouts, and it's a spray deodorant. I don't know if you could see that bottle.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, with the lavender. Is that
It's
the-
just called EO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it does come in different. Yeah, this is Calming French Lavender. It's an organic spray deodorant.
Okay.
And it has tea tree, right? It uses tea tree as yeah.
Um,
That stuff's cool. You can use it on your feet too after the gym.
oh,
Yeah, because you don't want to touch the ground. Yeah.
yeah. The ingredients are like, it's just basic. It's got essential oil, organic, another oil, lavender. It does have
Used it. I
ethanol.
found that it was unreliable in the heat. Like, you want reliable issue,
This?
yeah, that's why.
Oh, I've had no problem, and I live in Florida.
Yeah. All right. There you go.
So you were saying like lemons, yet you go through a lot of lemons during the cleanse? Like
Yeah, man.
bags of lemons or?
Yeah, man. You're gonna need two. But just when you start, get a bag full. You want like a hack for the morning is warm water, lemon, and ginger scraped into the cup, right? So that starts your day.
Right.
Since you're not having coffee, so you're just burning lemons. At our house, we put lemon on everything, our chicken, everything. Like we finish with lemon.
Okay.
Because that's a natural degreaser for your liver. If you're trying to get the fat out of your body or the sludge out of the microvilli or whatever, I would imagine that's your tool. So I use it no matter what, like 3 a day. Easy.
Wow. Okay.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
And that gets your water up too, Michael, because it's flavored, so you don't mind it so much. You have 2 cups of lemon and ginger water in the morning. It kind of sets your tone. It's kind of
Yeah.
cool. And you got like 20 ounces of water finished. Boom,
Well, I
done.
just thinking of that when you said water was, so are we drinking only distilled water through this whole process too?
Just the cleanse, not the other regular days.
Okay, so the other days we're
Just
drinking.
day 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's it.
Okay.
Then you can
And
get
then-
those 5-gallon spring water things with the machine at the house or whatever. That's what we have, like a service that drops off water.
Well, we have a
We
Berkey.
have a Berkey.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, you guys are like really cool.
A little bit here and
We've
there.
been trying everything for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kristen, I think you just joined us, but it's over. I think if you live in a different part of the country, because it's noon Mountain Time. So you're muted if you're talking. You can unmute if you.
I was like, yes. I just signed in as soon as I got out of school. It's
Okay,
like
well-
3 here, so
Well, I'm glad you're joined, so now you kind of get an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. So we're talking about our reset that we're going to do to get started. I'm assuming.
Well, you need to do an onboarding call first.
Okay. All right.
So use the scheduling link in the welcome email, get that
Okay.
booked. I'm doing one in an hour from now if you're available.
Sure.
So go ahead and book that, or just use the link that you used to get to this Zoom call. Just so
Okay.
I have your paperwork in front of me, it'll help me know who's signed up for that call. But I'm gonna go over all of this stuff, how it works.
Perfect.
Tammy,
Okay.
Yeah,
Tammy, just because I've been in it for a while, but I've been trying to find the recordings of the sessions that I've missed. And I'm having a really difficult time finding them on the I don't know if it's just on the Facebook page.
well, because I didn't do anything for 2 weeks. So you
Okay.
have to go back. I did, this week I did, but Christmas and New Year's week, because the both holidays landed on a Wednesday.
Okay.
I showed up to the group calls just to, hey, we need support. I was there, but most of them I didn't even record because it was just talking. It wasn't a specific anything.
Okay.
You would
So,
have to scroll back quite a bit.
and are the Wednesdays the only ones that you record then?
Nope. No, so
I-
this week you should see, and this week I did something from my living room. So I recorded it from my laptop and I screwed up how I saved it. So it doesn't look like a Zoom call, but look for the Zoom logo. And look for what I said. It's New Year, New You, tips for getting healthy
Yep.
or something. So,
Okay.
but you're gonna have to go back farther, couple of months to get the old ones.
Well, I'm even trying to find ones earlier in our program together that I wanted to review, or I was coming Wednesdays, but not the Mondays and Tuesdays. I was looking for the spiritual one that was 3 days long, and I can't find them. So I'll search more, I guess.
Maybe they're under featured in.
They're not. I've gone through all the
No?
featured or the videos are very old.
Yeah, they need to be uploaded.
So
Michael, I DM'd you the bulk buys and the maple syrups.
but I didn't know to look for the Zoom.
So this
logo
is the
either.
group, here.
Mhm.
So you have to just kind of scroll down. Where is it? Jeez. So this one right here, today's group call link, this was from, I'm guessing Monday, because it looks weird. It just
Well,
looks,
okay, they look different than they used to, but I never seem
That's-
to be able to find the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday ones.
here's another one. It looks weird, but I
Mhm.
was saving it right. It went to the media. I screwed it up twice. Here's another one. Oh, because I couldn't find it either, so I posted it twice. Anyway, scroll. Yeah, you just have to keep going way down. Oh, what's this? Oh, this was a recipe.
Wow.
Yeah, and the cake looks good too.
I know, I can't wait.
That's
Uh,
funny. That's really funny.
so
I put the avocado in the in the shake.
here's one.
Really
This one
good.
was dated December 16th. This is about the supplements. So then you'll see someone else did their meal prep, pans. Yeah, I'm sorry they're not, I don't know how to put these all in one spot because I think that
Facebook should have a featured section on the front page where you can put those important videos so people can
so
see
here's
them.
recent files,
Oh, that might be a nice place too.
but I don't know how to put
You
it
got
there.
photos, videos at the top there. When you scrolled up, you've got discussion, which is where you are, guides,
Media?
featured, you see the featured after discussion and guides, sometimes they're there if you're having a motivational thing on Monday. But yeah, you would put them in these places and then just tell everybody to go to those places.
Yeah, this one is 27 weeks old.
Right. So you guys have to probably put those videos wherever you want and then tell us where those are. If you don't put them under media, great.
But so let's go to media,
Yeah.
videos. Oh, just everything? Oh, who was that? Sean, are you still here? Oh, that was Sean saying that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So look, if you go to media and then click on videos, there's all kinds.
Well, when I went through them, I was only finding very old ones.
And they're
I
not
did do that
titled, right?
first.
It's
Yeah,
not
these do
titled.
look a little bit old. I don't know how to put them just right here, though.
Mm.
Okay, well, I'll just scroll through, and I was specifically looking for ones that were, I normally can make the Wednesday one, but the other days of the week are not the right time of day for me, so I was trying to find those that I
So I'm
knew.
gonna make a note. I gotta get going because I have to
Yep.
get for another call soon here. But Sean, I'll send you the spiritual fitness one if I can even find it.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Of course. All right. With that being said, I gotta go because I
Thank you.
got a schedule to adhere to a little bit. Any last minute questions or anything before I go?
Tammy, I just unmuted just to tell you that Google has the directions on how to post to the media section of Facebook. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. All right.
Thank you,
Thank
Tammy.
you.